So it's time for the weekly challenge number 52, and this time it's all about self-acceptance, because that is what the second pillar of the book, the 6 pillars of self-esteem, is all about. We've been through living consciously, and now self-acceptance is the focus. So stay tuned if you want to hear all the details. Hey guys, this time we are all about self-acceptance. Really accepting who you are. It's basically that simple. If you truly took in those words, that would be enough for this challenge. We're basing this on the book, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, written by Nathaniel Branden. And so we're going through the 6 pillars, and we have begun with the first one, living consciously. That was 2 weeks ago. And that is the first step. You need to become aware, learn how to feel things, take in the reality. And then the second step is to accept what is. These are prerequisites to start to change things. And so the idea is that we are gonna implement all these 6 pillars, and we're taking it one at a time. And every other week we throw in these rejection therapy challenge, because building self-esteem, the real actionable stuff, that's when the magic will happen. But we're also doing some actionable things during these theoretical book-based weeks, because Nathaniel Branden has these sentence completion exercises. But we'll get back to that later when we're all about the objectives. So right now I'm just going to briefly mention some of the highlights from this chapter from the book, which I strongly recommend you to read or listen to, and I will put a link down there to the audiobook which you could throw yourself into. But basically, self-acceptance, it's closely intervened with self-esteem. If self-esteem is something that we experience, self-acceptance is more actionable. It's something we need to do, actively making a decision, actively accepting the reality. I'm sure you've all been in a situation where something tough has happened, or feel a bit of anxiety due to a conversation you just had, because maybe you were treated in a bad way, or maybe you treated someone in a bad way. But you can feel that thing crawling around but you choose to push it down, to neglect it. You have ways of covering it up. Doing this, I'm working, I'm listening to stuff. That's denying reality. That's not being self-acceptant. But the thing is, it won't leave you alone. It will extract energy from you. We need to lift those emotions up. We don't need to like the state or the emotions we're having, or the needs, the cravings, or that it's something that we need to pursue, but it's a first step to dealing with the matter. And then we can move on to the changing part. We can let go of it to some level, or we can address it with a more intense focus. The action of changing or reacting to that's for later, but first we need to learn to just accept. That in itself is so relieving. I don't try to trick myself. I don't try to make up a twisted reality to fit what I'm thinking. The facts are there. If we did something bad, we did it. We can try to talk around it, but in the end we still did it. And the sooner you get to that reality, the sooner you accept that, you can move on, you can grow from that, you can learn from that, or you can correct it in the way that it best can be corrected, if that means owning up to it or whatever. An example that Branden mentions in the book: if we wake up in the morning and we just dread to go to work, we don't want to do that. We can just push it away, I'm not gonna feel anything. Or we can choose to take in the emotion, accept Yeah, I really don't feel like working today, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And just that small little action, choosing to listen to yourself, so not to start the day off with self-deception, that is something that is key for building self-esteem. If we choose to neglect stuff and not accept reality, that doesn't only entail the bad stuff. That also entails the good stuff. Maybe you're denying the fact that you are really good at a specific work task or a hobby of yours. You're just choosing to neglect that. But that's the real danger of not allowing yourself to accept what you're good at, because that's where your true potential lies. You're not able to shut down only one sort of emotion. Either you choose to feel everything or you shut it all down. They are closely intervened. Self-acceptance really is about egoism, a natural inclination to treat yourself. You need this egoism. You need to be true to yourself so you can live the life that you are meant to live. And it is an act that is truly necessary. But so Nathaniel also speaks about the self-accepting part being a way into the why something is happening. If we did something wrong, there is a reason for it. He says that there is always a way of looking at a thing that happened that in its own way has a natural explanation. It has a way of give it some sense of rationality to it. If a father killed the person that killed his son, we can understand that action. It may not justify it, but there's a reason for the action. And that may help us to accept, to move on, to deal with it. That's something we won't get to unless we accept and then can look at it in an objective way with the why scope. There's a 3-step process to owning your emotions. First, you focus on it. You realize it's there, you accept it. Secondly, you breathe, you relax your muscles, you allow yourself to just feel what you're feeling. And lastly, third, you accept that you are feeling what you're feeling. It is a part of you and it is there. And this process is called owning it. A key part of being self-acceptant, in order not to let it overflow you, standing in these emotions, taking them in, is to be self-compassionate, to be your own best friend in a way, to talk to yourself in a way that you would talk to a friend. And this is something that is hard and needs practice. But to see yourself in that situation, when you're taking something in, you did something bad, you need to be that friend of yours. You are alone there. When you're standing there in the fridge, you have eaten way too much, you need to just, Alex, take a deep breath here. Yeah, you shouldn't have eaten those last 3 scoops of ice cream. But it's okay, things like that happen. It is one of your weak spots, but we can work at it. So just let go of that spoon. It's alright. But you see, it's just so important to be your own friend. To talk to yourself the way you should talk to a friend. Practice, practice, practice. Practice this. It will help you. It really will. And so we have come to this week's objectives. And basically it's divided into 2 parts. The first objective of this week's challenge is to do some sentence completion exercises. It is for you to end 4 STEM sentences in the morning and in the evening. So for each sentence, you're just gonna write 5 to 10 endings. Being self-acceptant for me means that I don't feel comfortable in my body. And so you end this sentence. Oh, I have to pee, but in the description, I will have all the details for you. And the second part is a very practical, hands-on experience, because that's what it is. You are gonna stand in front of the mirror, naked, and you are gonna observe yourself. Look at every inch of your body, the ones you hate, the ones you love, and notice, take in what's there, accept what's there, and you will experience that some parts of your body will be so hard to look at. You will not go there natural. You will have to push yourself to observe certain parts, because, well, most of us, we don't love our physical experience to its fullest. But as Nathaniel says, how can we build a true self-esteem if we don't love ourselves all the way. This is who we are. We're not gonna change that. That's what we have to live with. So look at all your body parts and just take them in. They are what they are, and they have made you what you are today. Oh, sorry, I just have to pee so bad right now, so I'm about to explode. So that is it for this week's challenge. I hope you feel excited. It is just something that needs to be done. This self-esteem building stuff we're all about right now, I mean, it is fundamentally changing me in the conversations, the way I'm acting, the way I'm going after the things I truly want to go after. It becomes easier to me because I'm understanding the importance of following my true heart. The snowball effect in all different life areas. I don't have words to describe it. You just have to experience this for your own. Take on this challenge, do the 2 objectives we have ahead of us, but also you need to continue to live consciously. It's a key part of the building self-esteem. So try to have a journal, take notes, observe yourself, reflect on what you're doing and how you're acting and how you're feeling in different contexts. I will try to post some vlogs about it throughout the week. I do recommend you to also look through the previous week's challenge where I did some rejection therapy. A very powerful way of building self-esteem, it really is. So that is it. That is this week's challenge. I hope you feel excited. I will update you throughout the week. Yeah, good luck. See you.